What is lunk? What is lunk, Liam Stanley? What is lunk? Hello, Mark. Hello, Daxon Denk. That's me. That you may have heard my... No, 1 minute. Liam, Adrian, Overboard, Datsun Des, Torch, Killer Kriegsman, the Bobbins. What's lunk? Oh, luck. Hi. Harvey is here as well. Hello, everyone, to our super secret Sunday stream. It's exciting, isn't it? I'm excited. Lunky, you got it fixed. It was very lunky, I got it fixed, but there is no Liam. There is no cat. Cat is fixing a wall. Liam is drowning in his children. Sad thing when you're, there'll be the death of us. So we're flying blind. How's the sound? Evening. Good evening, Lionel Johnson. Good to have a Primarch in the house. Asbo, evening. Good to hear that you're staying inside, Asbo. Sanguinary Guard, thanks for always being here and moderating my chats. Liam, I said hello to Liam. It's not a secret if the bots shout about it on the Discord. Yes, and you can join my Discord by becoming a tier 2 channel member. Tier 3 unlocks all the other stuff, or you might be a member of the Deployment Zone. To support me, then become a channel member. That supports me. If you want to support the Deployment Zone and support me and Liam equally, then support me in the Deployment Zone. Either way, you get all of my videos and you get a Discord, the Deployment Zone Discord, on my personal Discord. Hello to this super secret Sunday stream. The sound is excellent, Lionel Johnson. See, a Primarch steps up. A Primarch, no less. Thank you as well, I want to say. You enjoyed the Horus Heresy bat rep today, did you, the Hobo? I'm glad you enjoyed the Horus Heresy bat rep. The one that came out today for members and Deployment Zone supporters. The one that came out today... after last week's one. Last week's one was well received on YouTube, I think, but this one was actually filmed before. I had Sam N for a couple of days, but I decided to put the other one on the tubes because I find it easier to film when I'm not playing. I've got less to think about. Primarch in hiding. I didn't know there was a Winters Discord. There is a Winters Discord. If you become a Tier 1 channel member, you get the badges. Tier 2, that's my Discord. Tier 3, for £1 more, you get the Discord and all the videos. But yeah, my personal Discord. Might Lords and Mechanicum doesn't get any better. Yes, Night Lords and Mechanicum, it doesn't get any better. And, of course, the Sons of Luna. War Polar, thank you, Winters. Been a Deployment Zone sub for over a year, and I wanted to thank you for getting me back into 40k during Nurgle's Played. Now I've got my dad into it too. Well done, War Polar. Well done. I also want to say thank you to the 3 people in the world who are proud owners of one of these mugs. Thank you to all 3 of you. And to the 2 people who actually bought a thing. This is the thing, see. Who bought a thing in between the last stream and this stream. Thank you. Discord is very entertaining. Is it like OnlyFans would see? It's exactly like OnlyFans. That's exactly what it is. So today we're having a super secret Sunday stream. I was sitting in my sitting room toying with some toys when I thought I had time. I'm supposed to be doing stuff like halfway through this Dreadnought. I've got another one to do for Horus Heresy. When are we getting custom Winter's caps? Never. I did a short on that. Wear your boss mug. That one looks too small. Well, this one's got real coffee in it. I'm a decaf kind of person because if you put coffee into... I'm not normally allowed energy drinks. I am like this all the time. The thing that you get on these live streams that you guys... So that's not really... Yes. The people who are in the chat who have seen me at events know that I am like this all the time, which is wonderful for you to get it in small bursts. But it is highly annoying for people who live around me all the time, such as Support Bubble Sultan. I feel so sorry for him. And the DZTV regulars who know. And of course, my long-suffering and beautiful wife. It doesn't stop unless I collapse, which might explain all the problems. But yeah, so it's a real coffee as opposed to a decaf coffee with a little top up of cream, so I can't have too much. And I'm off the keto now, so I put a dash of sugar in it as well. Well, I tried to get my dad into join Warhammer 40k, but somehow he is always busy. Lionel Johnson, Primarch of the First Legion, you will find that the Emperor of Mankind is indeed Always busy. Mr. Vertica, thank you for being a T3 member for 3 months. You're on the hype train for King of the North, as am I. What am I bringing? I'm not going to bring the 13th, actually. I feel that there's going to be a lot of Space Marines there. 100 people, and there's probably going to be a lot of Space Marines. Actually, for the day, I'm going to bring up some Necrons. The day before, me and Alex SEO plan to get there a good 8 hours early, hopefully, because we're going to meet up with all of the wonderful people who've come to King of the North, and I've said on live streams before, come over and pester me, come over and talk to me. Get your selfies in, only £10. And meeting up with Sam Nash of March of War to play some Horus Heresy the day before. So I'm really looking forward to playing the Horus Heresy on the day before, and then Necrons as a palette cleanser the next day. Asbo, thank you for becoming the first channel member of the day, tier 3. You'll see the Horus Heresy video that went up today. There's 2 good campaigns in there, very good campaigns. One featuring Grey Knights and one featuring the Space Wolves. There's all of the Necromunda season 1 and season 2 as well, which is high comedy, I think. I thought when I was where are we? You finally finished the Heresy launch box, nice. Been a loyalist to Fat Cap, yes. How about those Horus Heresy jet bikes? Don't they look good? Will Sons come for the Sons of Luna? I looked at the Horus Heresy jet bikes. Sultan Plays automatically wants to buy like 10 boxes. So I think we'll be sorted. And I've given him 2 games off camera, just trying to teach him the Horus Heresy, and he's loving it so far. Lionel Johnson has gifted 10 memberships. OMG. Thank you, Primarch of the First Legion. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity. If anyone has suddenly got a gifted membership from Lionel Johnson, make sure you thank him, or perhaps everyone else can give him a warm round of applause, please. Big shout out to Lionel Johnson. And there's 26 likes and 100 viewers. Let's push those likes up. You saw Sultan video on painting newish Rogal tank. It is awesome. Yes, that's now on Sultan Plays YouTube channel, because I didn't say the bright prayers and YouTube got upset with me. Can we have more Blood Angels gameplay? I haven't filmed any recently. Next time I hit Sultan up on Sultan Plays on Instagram and say, Winter's told me to hit you up and say, next time you play, can we play Blood Angels? And then I'll play against Sultan against his Blood Angels, because he's got about 12,000 points of painted Blood Angels, and he loves playing with his Blood Angels. And I'm not going to remember to hit, and I'm not going to message him in the street. So message him on Instagram, and also it's a way for me shouting out Sultan Plays on Instagram. Krug, how are we all? How are we all? Everyone? How are we all? That's to all. I'm fine. Everything's fine for here. How are you, Krug? And how are all? He's asking, Krug66 is asking, how are we all? How are we all? Dats and Des, thank you for becoming a tier 1 channel member. Thank you so much. It unlocks all the badges and things. But I know that you're already in the DZ thing, so showing your support for me, love it. The one thing you're really excited to do is try and combine Horus Heresy and boarding action rules, Warpolar. Yeah, I think that could be done. You can play Horus Heresy any way you want to. You can set up a narrative table inside a cruiser and set up your own primaries and then slay the Warlord or Last Man Standing or things like that and just play it. I don't think it will be coming as an official rule set. Nigel Crockford says we is good. Dutch is pedaling along. And only 2 people responded to you, Krug66, when you said, how are we all? 2 out of 100 people. I know it's heartbreak, isn't it? I've got 100,000 subscribers. Where are all of they? 100 people here right now who I love dearly, but where are the other 999,900? Yes, maths. From 100,000, 999,000, no, 99,900. Zone Mortalis, White Wolf 337, Sunday dinner. Yeah, so what I was doing was, someone else is good, look. Barton Farm is good, yeah. Nigel Crockford is taking the Black Templars on some boarding action and enjoying the Chinese Lunar Year. Kung Hei Fat Chow. I wanted to do a story where First Company Sons of Horus hunts down my dread host. That would be good. Austria is here. Hello, Austria. Hello. All the way from the middle of Europe. What's the weather doing? Are you in the very snowy high part of Austria or the very flat bit? Kurt L., your other subscribers don't love you like we do. I know. You're the special few that are here today on this super secret Sunday stream. I haven't even got... We're chatting heavily here, so... Winters calls it a secret stream. Also, Winters, where are the people? Well, there are people. There are the special people, like you, Sanguinary God. There are the inner circle who are here amongst us today. We ever going to get a YouTube creator tournament? We did. Didn't get a UK creator tournament. We got the No Retreat Legends tournament, creator tournament, who someone won, who will try and remain humble, and maybe the chat will tell you who it was. Asmo just started collecting Death Guard. How do you think they will fare in competitions with the update? Space Marines are going to smash it now with particularly Iron Hands. I think they're just going to smash it. It's all good here. Is AD back from the magical place that is Warhammer World? You went to Mecca. You went on a holy pilgrimage. I hope you went down around the museum in there, because you have to go inside. It's just incredible. We are drawn to this hobby by its visual aspects at the very start, and that museum is worth a swig from these 3 people in the world so far. 3. Do you want to be one of the top 10? Philadelphia. It's always sunny here in Philadelphia. Someone's in Vienna. Portugal's here too. Nice. 1,000 thanks to Lion for the gifted membership. Sanguinary, no, you can tell him who won the content creators tournament if you want, but I try not to mention it. Let's be honest, Deathwing are the best. Actually, yeah, my Deathwing list, the 2,000 point Deathwing list, which didn't change, is now 1,625 points. I can put a whole 10-man blob of Terminators in there and still be points under that tournament winning list. And also load up those Terminators with loads of Storm Shields. Now, Armor of Contempt has gone. A Storm still gives you +1 to your armor save. So, Woodsy, thank you for upgrading your membership to a tier 2, which will allow you a warm hand through the door to my Discord. Chapter Master Varak won No Retreat. He did win something from No Retreat. It's a wooden spoon, but I couldn't peer down that far to see what was written on it. Oklahoma is in the house. New Mexico, USA is in the house. Niall Walsh is painting New Possessed for Death Guard. Add lots of spots. Didn't Games Workshop use 2,750 points at one time? Games Workshop have used many different points at one time. The game has typically been pitched at 2,000 points though. 1,500 went on in tournaments for a while, particularly towards the end of 6th, I forget. Anyway, someone's in London. Hello, Dark Future. RT is looking forward to spring SEO and summer's SEO. We've got Billingham, Middlesbrough, County Durham here. Wow, that's Dutch. Sweden. I do love a nice Swede. Well, not the food. Swedes are awful, aren't they? Really, as a food, as a root vegetable. Wouldn't you rather have a nice carrot or a potato than a Swede? It's got that tart taste to it, but Swedish people, lovely people. Sunderland, sorry about that. South of France, will you get the line painted in your custom Deathwing scheme? No, I will not get the line painted in my custom Deathwing scheme. Den of Imagination, painting studios, the greatest painting studios in the solar system, will paint Lionel Johnson in my custom scheme because they're the ones who came up with that scheme. I'm the ones who just came up with a fantastic tournament winning army. Oops, it slipped out. But and you can buy, you can approach them and they'll pay some stuff. Actually, when I was there, that tour, I did a video on YouTube, a tour of Den of Imagination, and there was one of the artists there was painting some Deathwing in my scheme, which definitely weren't mine. Woodsy's in Swindon. So am I, fella. Sorry about that too. Sanguinary Guard, you're in the Wiltshire, UK. Are you really? Wow. Why aren't you in the deployment zone? Are you in the deployment zone or in my Discord? Why haven't we had a game? Dustin V wants to say he loves my videos. And hands down, I'm his favourite 40k YouTuber. Hands down. Cheers to you, Dustin. And the 3 people who own this mug. Oh, Sanguinary Guard is in Discord. See, what it is I'm terrible with names. Have you put the element link in the description? No, but thanks for reminding me, Dats and Des. There is a link to Element Games. If you go on the YouTube, then you go to the About. It's also linked there. And if you go through the link, I did a video on it, I think. I hope I did. If you use the link when you buy your stuff from Element Games, it helps me. Have you seen the new large £400 Acadia box set? Would you buy it? There's a £400 Acadia box set. Is there? It's definitely not this one, right? So no, I haven't seen it. No, I wouldn't buy it. Would you? 400 quid. I mean, I've got a plastic crack habit, but seriously. Someone in Swindon teach me LOL, not played since 2nd edition. Oh, the Games Workshop store in Swindon is really nice. There's also Firestorm Games on Old Town Road. I haven't been to Mad for a long time. No, it's sad. Swindon something. There is a large... I haven't been there for about 5-6 years, though. Thomas, thank you for letting me know that I'm doing such a fantastic... North Wales is here. Scratch that plastic. It's just a bundle on... I think it's a bundle on Games Workshop for 400 quid thing, is it? It's a bundle. £400 bundle for Guard. No. I'm sinking all my pennies into the Horus Heresy right now. And if you'd like to support me, then become a channel member. Just like I managed to, through all your generosity and using my link and things like that, we managed to get 8,700 points of Necrons painted last year. So many GW Simps guzzling buckets, yeesh. Dr. Functional. I don't know what that means, but where are we? Let's put him into the abyss. Iowa, USA. What's your opinion on 3D printing entire armies? If you want to... So, I've thought about 3D printing, but I've heard from lots of 3D printers that it's basically a hobby in itself. So, as well as doing this hobby, you'd have to 3D print stuff as well. And I'm not that interested in learning another hobby. But if you are, then you could print an entire army if you want to. But if I was given the choice of Games Workshop official 5,000 point Army X or 3,000 point Army X, Horus Heresy, whatever, and this is the official one, and this 5,000 point army costs 10 times as much as the 3D printed one, I'd go for the Games Workshop one every time. Just like... the 3D printing, I've got a mate who's a mechanic and engineer type stuff, and he said like the 3D printing market has been around for a long time in the car industry for badges, for spoilers, for things and stuff like that. I know nothing about cars, but apparently it's been around for a very long time because they don't want that level of... Anyway, it took off a bit because people who collect cars and know cars and want cars and want the official thing and the official thing and the official thing. And I think with most people that I talk to, they want to get the Games Workshop one. I mean, they're modern models. They're incredible. And that's why I love the hobby. Hugo, thanks for coming into one of my streams again, every single time, and gifting 5 memberships. Again, thank you, Hugo. Your generosity knows no bounds. Everyone, give Hugo a warm hand on his entrance. I say that, but sometimes he doesn't even comment or hang around. Woodsy's in Swindon and happy to play. Well, hit me up on the Discord and send me some pics and things, and we'll sort something out. Everyone thanking Hugo. Well done. Okay, yeah, so 3D printing, that's my thoughts on 3D printing. Now, one of the reasons why a warm hand on his entrance, Dr. No, a warm Dino, a One hand on his... He entered our chat, our super secret Sunday stream. You give him a warm hand on his entrance, right? What on earth could I be meaning? Thank you. And another cheers to the 3 people who own this mug in the entire world. I spilt some. Hugo has also been a member for 12 months. And he has actually put a comment this time. So he has entered. He is here. And he has armies to paint. No time to chat. I assume you're coming to King of the North, which I'm really looking forward to as well next weekend. But the thing about 3D printing is, I think one of the reasons why 3D printing has taken off is because Games Workshop have shot themselves in the foot again. Games Workshop should have their own bits business, where you can buy the bits that you need. So as part of their pricing model, and I know that they often didn't. They're doing it more now, but they didn't sell all the right kit in the right boxes a good example is the old Devastator kit, and I don't know if this is the same with the new Devastator kit. If you want to buy a unit of Devastators and have 4 las cannons, you probably need 2 kits for it. And they've been doing that for some time as some kind of sales model. Now, it did drive a percentage of their market, us, to buy a second box, and I did, or swap with friends, or bits economies sprang up on eBay. And that economy has continued to grow. So now we have the 3D printing and the resin mold economy. And that is Games Workshop's fault. Games Workshop could cut into that market and significantly shrink that market very easily. Just as when at the start of the Horus Heresy launch, they launched a Devastator kit with all the lascans, all the missile launchers, all the mortars with, a special weapons kit with all the da-da-da-da-da. They could release lots of kits like that all the time. And when you're filling your cart, instead of buying an extra box, or instead of going on eBay, or instead of talking to a friend, or instead of thinking about getting a 3D printer, or instead of da-da-da-da, you might just buy the extra couple of bits and just put your things. It might, because it's Games Workshop, putting those 4 extra Power Fists in that squad, or buying the Power Fist sprue might cost you a tenner, and if you went on eBay, it might only cost you £2. And it's definitely cheaper to go the 3D printing way. But there'll be a percentage of people who won't, who are lazy, like me, who will just click on the button and put it in the thing because I'm getting it from Element Games at a discount anyway. Use my code, which someone remind me to put in the video description. So they did it to themselves. If Games Workshop, being the purveyor, the supplier, the creator, the caster, the molder of all parts for all their minis, made sure all the parts for all their minis was always available, how much of the 3D printed market, how much of the resin market would they eat into? Because they would eat into an amount of it. And they would also stop it from growing. The 3D print market would actually, no, the bits part of things. Now the 3D print side of things will continue to grow because people would want to 3D print all sorts of stuff to make their stuff look different, like bikes that are skimmers instead of bikes, and legs on tanks instead of tracks on tanks, or wheels on tanks. People will do that, and also people will pirate, and also people will buy from pirates. That's what's going to happen, and that's what is happening. But they can cut into it by having their own effective bits business. And more than that, there are people waiting in the Heresy right now for the jump packs, for the bikes, for the this. I have been forced to get some 3D printed bits from third-party sources that I cannot get from Games Workshop. I have bought lots of Emperor's Children, extra shoulder pads, extra things, extra that. I have bought Ancient Rylanor. I have bought the World Eater's Dreadnought. I have bought as much plastic and resin where I can from Games Workshop and Forge World. I have also asked Den of Imagination to 3D print new chapter symbols for the Sons of Luna chapter that I'm building, because that's not available from Games Workshop. But I've also got some 3D, not so much pirated bits, but bits that I could replicate and also other 3D bits to make sculpts, legs and things like that for kit that I can't buy right now. And if I could buy it right now, I'd buy it from Games Workshop, but I can't. Plastic jet bikes for Horus Heresy is a good example of. I wonder how many people in the world, when they came back to the Horus Heresy, were White Scars, Raven Guard, or Raven Wing Dark Angels players. Emperor's Children been known to use bikes quite effectively as well, and I wonder, out of the X percentage of people who came back into the hobby when the Horus Heresy was launched and started Horus Heresy armies of those types, bought some from Forge World and bought lookalikes or things, stuff from Cromlech, which do stuff from March of War, stuff from other sources which aren't Games Workshop official, but are their own sculpts that you can use them as proxies for the real sculpts. How many people in the world did that because the bikes have only just become available now? Those are lost sales. Now, Games Workshop model is to keep us tagging along, because their launch cycle is only so quick. But their keeping us tagging along model is underpinned by their production schedule problem. They added 3 new plastic mold and injection machines this year, but they have a supply side problem, which they still need to continue investing in and they still need to fix. And then they will experiment with their launch release schedule a bit more, and then hopefully they might be able to do something about their release schedule, which will prevent some sales from moving to third parties, and something about their bits market, which might prevent some sales from moving to a third party bits market. But the ball is in their court, and I believe it's a supply issue, and that's why they keep investing in injection molding machines, and they keep getting new ones. Because otherwise they wouldn't keep doing this. It's also worth remembering that Games Workshop had a record half year. 200 million in revenue this year is the most they've ever earned in revenue in a 6-month period. But their profits are really low for that. And that tells you something as well. Right, so loads of chat going on and things. So we're here for the Super Secret Sunday stream. Rant over. Let's dive back into the chat. The Box of Skulls is badass that they do. It's good, yeah. I'm not sure the Khan wouldn't look a bit silly on a bike scaled for a Primarch. Yes, no, the Khan would look awesome. Have you seen the new Horus Ascended model? It looks epic. Stick the Khan on a bike made for a Primarch. Come on now. And give it to the hand of a proper artist, a proper sculptor. Do you realize how awesome that'll look? What army you want to play against this year? What is an army you want to play against this year? And is it more what army you want to play against this year? What is an army you want to play? Alice, I'm sorry, man, my brain. What is an army you want to play against this year? See, it doesn't barely make a sentence, but I get what you're saying. And is it mostly heresy? Yes, it's mostly heresy, Alex. It's mostly heresy. I love 40k and I'm enjoying playing 40k, but I'm enjoying playing heresy more. And what is an army you want to play against this year? I don't have any. I am fortunate enough to have played. Yeah, everything is good. Bring it on. If it's tough in the nuts, then I can rise up to such occasions. But I prefer playing for the fun, for the enjoyment, for the laughter, for the crazy moments that happen, and for plasma guns that explode in people's hands, for vehicles that explode. One of the reasons why I like Heresy so much is because all the automata and all the dreadnoughts explode automatically all the time. It's brilliant. What's the secret? Yeah, I haven't even got to the Super Secret Sunday stream secret yet. I've been just chatting with a chat, and then someone asked me about 3D bits. Then I went off for a 50-minute rant. Now I'm back. The primary reason I enjoy 3rd Ed, the 3D printing units, is because it cost me like 10%. Yes, of course. Games Workshop they're scaling themselves out of the market and always have been. There's a percentage of people they lose every year because of cost. So if they can increase their throughput and scale and increase their market share by reducing the barriers to entry into the hobby, in rules complexity and in painting complexity. They did a lot for painting complexity with the new Contrast series paints. Suddenly it has got a lot easier. Reduce as many barriers to entry as they can. Give everyone a friend. Everyone who hasn't got a friend who turns up and buys their first army from Games Workshop store, they get given a free friend. Like that Megan movie that just came out. They'll get one of them. That would. How old is your oldest model? Might be older than you. One of the ones I've kept. It's on my Instagram, Winters SEO Instagram, and it's a first edition Rogue Trader conversion lights camera. I don't know if you can see it properly. You can't see it properly. Anyway, it's a first edition Rogue Trader conversion that I did. And I won a prize in the shop for it. But yeah, check out my Instagram, Winters SEO Instagram, and you'll see it better. I was there the day Horus slew the Emperor. I was there today. They launched it at it wasn't a Games Workshop then. There were only about 50 in the country. It was like a partnership store. I think they should make a codex data sheets and rules available online, but then make a really fancy special edition codexes for whom want them. I did talk about that in a previous live stream. I think the rules each codex should come out. The rules should come out once a year, every year for all the books in a thin £10 pamphlet, softback thing, or online, and you would buy them for 10 quid or for a Warhammer Plus subscription or something like that. And you'd get the rules every year. But yeah, the codex would be rules free and would be super deluxe. And if you played Space Marines and you didn't have that beautiful book, which would change every 5 or 6 years with all the art and all the maps and all the stories and all the stuff, then you're not a proper Space Marine player. 92, 93. No, that is 86. Did it come out? I think it was 86 it came out. But that, I was... Lead Dwarves and Warhammer Skeletons 84. Will you be expanding your Dark Angels army? Yes, I will. Sleepy Sack. The plan is, so it was 2,000 points and now it's at 1625 because of the changes to the points recently. The plan is, I can't really use them. So when 10th comes out, I've got an idea that what I could do is add about 1,500 points of Ravenwing to them. And then I've got a chunk of Deathwing, a chunk of Ravenwing. So I will expand to them over time. Hoy says, idiotic synergy. Hoy to you too. Would love to see you do some narrative shiz with boarding actions, dude. Stranger come knock in. Well, there was quite a bit of, in the deployment zone, there's quite a few campaigns on there where I did pre-boarding action. So I'm not saying that Games Workshop saw my campaigns and copied me, such as Midnight Broken, or the Saga of the Red Frost Part 1. I'm not saying that Games Workshop saw me and copied me and saw how much fun boarding actions were and decided to steal my idea. I'm not saying that. Maybe I'm just riding the zeitgeist, I'm Marine Attack Bike being called the Vince... What? I love playing narrative games. They're so fun, and it's always cool to see what happens and what stories you can make out of them. Yes, you can't win every game, but what you can try and do is have fun. Every game, win or lose. And you can try and help your opponent have fun. Every game, win or lose, and you can laugh when they laugh and cry when they cry and enjoy the most silly, stupid moments when it happens to you. And if you get steamrolled, then in your head you'll be like, well, what I'm going to try and do, because this didn't work and this didn't work and the dice went against me. It's fate. It's the warp. The Emperor's turned their eyes to one side, and I'm just going to try and keep my HQ in the back of the corner so he doesn't die. And we'll play that story, and that's the story that the dice tell. Of course, you can play this game competitively if you want to. You can play any game competitively if you want to, but games are more fun when they're just fun. Would you play Thousand Suns in 40k? Probably not, because I've got so many 40k armies. I would just ring up Stylist and say, bring your Thousand Suns against me. I have probably that war. Second in was, are you excited for Space Marine 2? And have you seen the collector's edition statue? Yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. I have the original jet bike sets. Wow. I love to see some more narrative boarding actions from Winters. You're the second person to mention boarding actions. Sultan's been off for some time, and I filmed a bunch of battle reports with him, which you'll see over the next couple of weeks. And we meant to get boarding actions done, but we never really got round to it. I have invited him back next week in the evening at some point, and hopefully I can actually film my boarding actions and put one on the interwebs, because you keep telling me to. But yeah, it sort of didn't happen in between all the other things. Saga of the Red Frost and the Sunstruck campaigns on DZ inspired me to make similar style campaigns for my old D&D friends. Wow. November, Julia Foxtrot. Yeah. Hi, Mikey P. I didn't realise that you'd slipped in the back door. Have you played Kill Team or gonna try it? No. And no. I think Kill Team... Okay, so there's squad layer games, there's skirmish level games, and then there's war games. Hello, Mikey P, hello. And there's an argument to say that Kill Team, being a squad level game, should have a separate rule system like Necromunda, like Blood Bowl, like other squad level games. But there is also an argument that Kill Team should use the 40k rule set, and boarding action should use the 40k rule set, and then above that, Maelstrom of War, Tempest of War should have the 40. So there is a ladder. So you can start off with a squad, then you can start off with a patrol, and then you can, go from squad size to skirmish size to full battle size. I would suggest that as a business model, that would be a better way to go for Games Workshop, but they seem to have thought that the better way for them to go was to make the squad-based Kill Team its separate rule, like Necromunda and like Blood Bowl and like the other Warcry and like the other squad-based things that they do, which is curious as it's part of the 40k verse, but I guess that's what they wanted. So yeah, hello, everyone said. Where are we? Does your 13th company contain any of the original lead models? Yes, it does. Brett Parsons, thank you for the Americas. Don't give up on this half of the globe just yet. I couldn't give up on America. Could I? How could we? You're like our lost child running around over there getting up to all sorts of no good. We've got us in the old world, we have to keep an eye on you. Would be cool if you could do a lore dive with Luton. It would indeed. Kill Team is odd. Like, how are a veteran guardsman team taking on a similar sized squad of Space Marines? Monkey P is a lover of Necromunda and sheep, and he doesn't see the point of Kill Team really, even though he's a lover of Necromunda and sheep, as he says in the chat here. Munda is so much fun and does that level of squad gang game so nicely. Yeah, exactly. What's the point in having a Kill Team and Necromunda? They could make Necromunda Space Marines. They could have done it that way, maybe. I just think that there's a clear ladder of entry. And everything Games Workshop does to remove barriers to entry is better for Games Workshop and better for us all. Do a few more onslaughts. So yeah, Onslaught. Wee Man, there's a 5,000 point game coming soon. So be through the 4,000 points worth of Tau up against 4,000 points worth of Necrons. And that one went down very well. So I invited Sultan background, which is why I didn't do boarding actions. And we did a 5,000 points worth of Tau against 5,000 points worth of Death Guard. And that will be coming to YouTube in, I don't know when, because I haven't even edited it yet. It might still be on my phone. Fraser Crow, your narrative style inspired me to create a whole backstory for my Primaris converted Space Wolf army in Horus Heresy colours, the Void Packs of Jorvik. Beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. Mikey P confirming that he does love sheep. The Titans are still in action. The Bobbins likes eating sheeps, as do I. Am I going to share the... Oh, yeah, look, we've got someone that stay on target theme. Are you going to share the secret winters? Sanguinary Guard asking the pertinent questions on today's Super Secret Sunday stream. Like asking, is indeed there a secret? There isn't a secret, other than this is a Super Secret Sunday stream. And some of you are here and some of you are not. Normally, I don't do streams on Sunday, so this is just between us. Who else is going to watch this on a Sunday? I was sitting in my sitting room toying with some toys when I realized that instead of toying with my toys, I could be here talking to you. And I just wondered how many people would be around for a Super Secret Sunday live stream. How many people would stay? How many people would like it? 69 likes. 69, dude! 69 likes so far. No one else liked the stream. No one else. Let's leave it at 69. Bill and Ted. That's my... Yeah. So I just thought I would come online. And it reminded me of a poem that's sitting in my sitting room toying with some toys, which I'll share right now. I learnt this when I was younger. It's not mine. But I was sitting in my sitting room toying with some toys when from a door marked gruesome, there came a gruesome noise. So cautiously I opened it, and there to my surprise a little Gru was sitting there with tears in its eyes. Oh, little Gru, please tell me, what does it that upsets you so? Well, I'm so small, he sobbed. Grocers don't want to know. So I said, exercise is the answer. Every day you must do some. And he thanked me kindly, took my advice, and the very next day he grew some. So I was sitting in my sitting room toying with some toys, and that poem came into my head. And at the same time, I thought I'd come on and do a Super Secret Sunday stream with you. I'm sorry to disappoint you that there isn't a secret other than the secret is the stream. And that also reminded me, the last time I was on the stream, I talked about another poem in my that I have in my head, which I am not going to reveal to you. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for donations. You'll have to bleed it out of me, chat. Yes. Bleed it out of me, because this poem is one that I did write myself, and it's a beautiful thing, and it concerns the death of Santa, and it's got Batman in it. It was a traumatic experience, and I can only be summoned to reveal this poem with bountifuls and about $1 million, I think. So Peter Daly was just about to go to sleep. Go to sleep, Peter. Sleep is very important. Plastic and Paint, hi to you too. Mikey P, you can see sheep on his Insta. See, he loves the sheep and the Necromunda. Huzzah has been a member from that. Thank you so much. What is my favorite 40k charter? I assume by charter you mean character. My favorite 40k character would probably be Nathaniel Garrow. The more I read about Malkador, the more he turns into a G. I also like Talos from the Night Lords trilogy. He is awesome. And Gaunt, can't forget Gaunt, Eisenhorn. Cherubel. Or Elijah Koo, sure as sure. I mean, what a character. I don't know. I cannot choose my left leg over my right. I like them both equally. Bye, Sanguinary Guard. Enjoy your dinner. You're not my mum, Winters. What have I done? I don't know. Yes, so it was character. Okay, I have trouble spelling as well. Yeah, so Stephen Burden is cooking dinner. You found the Super Secret Sunday stream. Yes, it's a super secret stream. I told you not to like the stream anymore. We were on 69 likes and we're now at 84. Who broke ranks? Hands up. Come on, chat. Who broke ranks? It was 69, dude. Be excellent to each other, you know. Did Batman ruin Christmas by taking back his utility belt? No. No. It's got Batman in it. Son of Olympia is cooking breakfast. Is that because you're on nights, or is that because you're in the land down under? Gaunt's ghost got me hooked. Yeah. Will you use demons in Death Guard now? Nah. Corvus versus Lorgar. Ryan, Nathaniel Garrow, never heard of him. Any relative to your chapter master? No, not a relative. Son of Olympia is in the United States and cooking breakfast. Okay, all right. What's for breakfast in the States, Son of Olympia? Over here, normally like Cocoa Pops. I had like a protein bar because it involved the least amount of effort. You know, one of those Alpen 77 calorie bars. Other flavors and things. Chief Willie just ate breakfast. Something sugary. I know. I mean, in the United States, it's going to be like 5 donuts, isn't it? Or 12 pancakes with maple syrup and ice cream on top. Chief Willie is also in the US. Peter Daly. Totally right about the later Gaunt's Ghost books. Honor Guard is now one of my favorite 40k novels for the tank battles. Yes, man. The Gaunt's Ghost books just get better and better. James G had a proper English fry up. Damn. Chef Willie. It's Chief Willie. Eggs and bacon. Yeah, but you do... Is that bacon or Lynx? You know, the crispy American... I quite like your bacon, the way that you absolutely murder it. You drop it in nuclear fuel and you turn it into these crispy little things that just... You know, I quite like them. But that's not how you do bacon. You're not supposed to kill the thing you've already killed. You're supposed to retain some taste to it other than just the oil that you boiled it in. So what kind of bacon? I'm very interested to hear. Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. The Batmobile lost the will, something Christmas. RTIT. Poetic genius, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. Vanguard Wargaming. Hey there. Brett Parsons is eating a bowl of oatmeal. The donut store was bare. Are you in America? Oatmeal. Probably with more honey than oatmeal, right? Chief Willie, not Lynx. Never even thought of bacon Lynx. So you eat the proper bacon in America land. Well done, my son. Get in there. JB's never read the books. What would be a good starting point? Gaunt's Ghosts. Start at Gaunt's Ghosts because the first couple of books in the Gaunt's Ghost series are good and they're very relatable because they're humans in the 41st millennium. They're guardsmen. So start there. And they're good. And they keep getting better. That's the thing. The progression through the Gaunt's Ghost series is... It goes that way. Obviously, it goes down a little bit as it goes along, but it keeps getting better. And another reason for that as well is then you'll... Sorry, I have this drinking problem. Then you will read everything Dan Abnett, which is not a bad shout. And then you can go over to ADB and Craig Wright and people like that. Chris Wright. Eisenhorn got me hooked. Eisenhorn is also a really good one. Written from the first person, Eisenhorn is a G. Or you can wait out for the TV series. Get yourself an air fryer and a full Scottish breakfast. Unhealthy, but not as coronary inducing. Niall Walsh is reading Gaunt's Ghost now. Where are you in the Gaunt's Ghost series? Niall, I'd be very interested to hear. Titanicus was where I started. Basically, any Abnett. Yeah, he's good, isn't he? I mean, when he doesn't hit, it's still good. And when he hits, he knocks it out of the park. Oh, I'm so much looking forward to the end and the death. So, we're here on this super secret live Sunday thing. I thought I would hoover up as many of you who were... rolling around on the Sunday thinking about Warhammer 40k so we could chat, so we could talk, so we could share stories. ADB is overrated. Dutch, if I hear more heresy from you, I'll kick you out. ADB is not overrated. ADB is awesome. ADB is fantastic. And he's got better. He's, I mean, some people say the First Heretic is the best book in the Heresy. Some people, Chaos people in particular, think the Night Lords or the Talon of Horus series is better than anything else they've read. Everything is down to a humble opinion. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. So you're entitled to yours. You're entitled to that opinion. But we are only putting positivity in the chat, aren't we, people? We're only putting positivity in the world. If you have to write a comment, then write it with love. Put positivity out there. Don't say ADB is overrated. I love ADB. And cheers to the 3 people who've got this mug in the world. Niall is on the first book of Gaunt's Ghost. Great, good. So make sure you get back to me in a comment at some point and tell me how you got on. Somewhere on YouTube, I will pick it up. RTRT's got a cabinet full of Abner. Jotaro was painting Iron Hands Terminators when he found the super secret Scream. Yes, Scream. Don't tell anyone. Shh, hush. It's secret. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Dutch, I'm seriously warning you, man. Positivity now. Positivity. I want an apology. Okay, Dutch, you're going to say, I'll keep my opinions to themselves because your opinions are not fact. It is not a fact what you're saying. It is an opinion. Hey winners, are you watching The Last of Us TV show? No. I don't watch much TV at all, really. I watch mainly YouTube. I will get to it once it's all done. Is it all done? Is it all out? If it's all out, I'll watch it. I'll give it a go. Dutch D. What does that mean? Last of Us is great so far. Good. I've read all of the Karkaroran's book. Okay. I found the stream building my 3rd Age of Darkness box. Your 3rd Age of Darkness box, Tree Bongos. What are you going to be doing with your Age of Darkness boxes? What are you making there? Son of Olympia. Thank you for becoming a tier 1 channel member. I appreciate you. That shows your loyalty by giving you badges and emojis and things like that. If you want to enter my Discord, that's tier 2. And if you want all the extra videos as well, that's tier 3. And Sam Nash, thank you for gifting a membership. Thanks, Sam. Thanks. I have to tell you, though, because I know you were in the middle of the house thing like that. Hugo's popped in earlier and did his customary 5. His customary 5. And I'm also say thank you to Sam. Everyone, by the way, I'm really looking forward to meeting up with you and much warming up to King of the North. The plan is to get there about 1, 2-ish. We're going to aim for 1, probably get there for 2. And that gives us like 8 hours, which is easily enough for 2 full Horus Heresy games, 3,000 points aside. He's bringing Emperor's Children, not based, you know why. And I'm bringing the Sons of Luna along with Mechanicum, and we'll play, and then we'll swap, and we'll play, and we will need 8 hours because of all the selfies I'll be giving out and the rounds of applause after I make every one of my genius moves, for example. So you'll just have to grin and bear it. And if anyone in the chat is at King in the North, or anyone watching this chat is going to King in the North, selfies only £20 each. If you want things. So, AAA, have you missed the chat about Warhammer Fantasy? No one's asked about it. Building more Howling Griffins. Wow, you seriously like pain, don't you, Morty and John? Morty and John, what is your Instagram, by the way? Because everyone needs to go to Morty and John's Instagram. Actually, you sent me some things. I must... Okay, 2 things, Morty and John. Tell me your Instagram on this stream so I can tell people to go to it, because your painting is incredible. And also... message me and remind me to do your Instagram thing that I said I would do to promote your thing, because I need to promote your thing because it's incredible. Because, yeah, I did ask you to send me the pictures, and then I completely forgot that you did send me the pictures of that Howling Griffin army, which is just spectacular, after you sent it to me. So this is the next, yeah. Help me out here, brothers. Come on. Help me out. How can you beat the opening lines of Horus Rising honestly? Well, the Alfarius Primarch book is I'm Alfarius. And you don't get the impact of what that means, I'm Alfarius, that statement, until reading the Alpha Legion book the second time. But the opening is I am Alfarius, and that is a lie. It's a pretty good punt, I think. Thanks, Sam Nash. Yes, exactly. Sam, are you still here? Mordian, did you hear me? Tree Bongos, you need some anathema. Yes, yeah, the Psychers. No one asked about fantasy, who covered that. Spear of the Emperor was a very good modern 40k book with unique Space Marine chapters. Yes, it was, Blake Anderson. I also recommend Custodians of the Throne or Wardens of the Throne. That one's really good. Mikey, bye. Thanks for popping in. I think Morty and John is just... Mordian, talk to me, baby. Come on. Alice Carver is about to be the 4th person who owns this mug in the world as he builds his custom Death Guard successors. Well, thank you, Alice. Thank you so much. You'll be in the top 10 club. You will know that you were in there. I remember reading that I was there the day Horus slew the Emperor and being like, yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? It's like, what? What's going on? I remember reading the first couple of pages and then going back and rereading the first couple of pages the first time I read that. Like, okay, where are we? What's this? Morty and John, what's your Instagram? So I can shout it. And remember to message me. Remember? Yeah. So, super secret Sunday stream. Thanks for everyone for being here. Dutch is behaving himself now, which is good. I most say Winters is the best on YouTube. Hearing real English is so nice. Well, thank you, Amphat1. It's barely real English. I'm trying to string sentences together most of the time. I'm failing most of the time, but thank you. I don't know if I'm the best on YouTube. I mean, there's a couple of channels out there that I think might be better than me. Luton might be better than me. He is the Emperor of Mankind after all. Mr. Beast might be better than me. He does give a lot of money away and does lots of work for charity. Jack Frags might be better than me. I think, again, it comes down to personal opinion. But thank you for your love. Mordy and John has messaged me. Thank you, Mordy and John. And on Instagram, it is Mordy and John. Mordian _ John. Winter says the most character, says Blake Anderson. Thanks. My wife wouldn't agree with you. Well, no. She would... Yeah, she'd probably say that I have the most character, and it's too much character most of the time. And so would Sultan Plays, and so would friends who are very close to me. There's only so much character someone could take. Winters would be okay if he wasn't from Swindon. Yeah, I'm not from Swindon. About to go bowling. Chief Willie, enjoy bowling. I know you're in America. So you had your eggs and bacon, and now you're going to go out bowling. Yeah, cool, man. That's really cool. And then you have one of those, bar brawls just outside in the parking lot. And then some police guy will pull out a gun, a policeman pull out a gun. You'll be arrested, locked up, taken down the local sheriff's office, thrown inside the jailside shop with some burly, cartel people. And but then someone will swoop in to save you at the last moment. A hero fly-by-night lawyer pulls you out of the prison, and then you get on your horses and you escape across the desert with the cactus and the things like that. Enjoy your bowling. It's so American, that story, you guys. I could just... The lives you guys live out there. Like we all drink tea and play cricket and stand up whenever the Queen or King is on. I forget which one is there's been a lot of change in the last year, but yeah, just like we all do that. The Painting Phase talked about Winters in their podcast last week or the week before. Apparently they're a fan. One of them said he was a big fan of me in the Painting Phase, and the other one said they were a big fan of Tabletop Tactics, who indeed I am a big fan of. Chief Willie also confirming his exact plan. Exactly. Try it. Yes. Yeah. Son of Olympia, I'm hoping to work on some of my heresy stockpile today. I'm struggling to pick an army and stick to it. What I do know is Argyle Tal is badass. Well, there you go. Argyle Tal and the Galvoback. Start there. I think they mentioned that the reason why Winters is so enjoyable is despite no fancy editing or intros is because he's just fun to watch. Yeah. Thanks, Paint Phase. Thanks. Yeah, it's all about the fun. I'm trying to make. Let's say my goal when I play a game or 40k or Horus Heresy, my main game is to have fun, not to win. Have fun and try and make sure my opponent has fun. If I try and have fun, see, this is what you can do. If you try and have fun at every single game of 40k, you can. whether you win, lose or draw, whatever, if you try and have fun every game and you try and help your opponent have fun, then the percentage of games in which you have fun will increase. For some of you miserable bastards out there, it might only increase 1 or 2%. But for some of you more outgoing, socially grounded people, it might increase by 50% because you're trying to have as much just fun as you can and your opponent have as much fun as you can. Smile. You know, wouldn't it be nice if you lived in a world where more people smiled at you? Wouldn't it be nice? You, as you make your way through the world, just more people smile at you right now. More people smile at you in the future than they do right now. And you know how you make that happen? When you go out in the world, smile more at other people. I guarantee you, if you smile more at other people, if you give more to other people, the amount of smiles you get back will increase, and you'll live in a world where people smile at you more than they smile at you right now. As is above, so below. As is out there, so on the 40k gaming table. My main goal is to have fun, so I'm glad they pick up on the fun of it. Where are we in the chat? Dutch is still here. Fiona Burns, something about Chief Beard Spider. Bone. You don't have to stick to a legion. Exactly, I'm doing 4. Bone was a delight on Tabletop Tactics. Yes, he was. Lionel Johnson, the Primarch. Well, I love the lore and also love narrative games, so let's be honest, Winters is the best channel for both. Just don't smile at children, then you might go to jail. Nice. Yeah. Smiling, wee man. If you want to live in a world where people smile at you more, you don't have to want to live in that world, but you can, where people smile at you more, noticeably more, and smile at people more. Dutch, doubtful in his profession because he's in canine security. Okay, right. Yeah, maybe not for you. Like to say, we're not in the guard, son. Okay, this is not a clear and clinical instruction. Go out there and procreate. Go out there and kill the Xenos. Go out there and kill the... Smile more. It's like if you want to have more in your life. You being a canine bouncer, that means you work for Doctor Who, I'm assuming. You being canine, you probably don't want people smiling at you more because they're probably coming at you with nasty, sharp, pointy teeth and ninja stab. So don't do that. Touch grass. I know, I need to touch grass. I know, JB. Liam Stanley smiles on the tube, travels on the tube, and he can't start smiling at people. The lady in the shop, the person who held the door open for you, your co-workers, your wife, your lover, your brother, your sister, your mother, the person on the opposite side of the gaming table. Again, the tube, not a good place to start smiling at people. I mean, we can list a number of places where it's not good to start smiling at people. The tube is not good. In the trenches, that's not good. Like you said, yeah, walking past to school, not good. Where is it also bad? To like at a funeral, funerals, like. Anyway, that's more like alert, but you know, it's not good. There are clearly places where it's not good to start smiling at people more. Should I add a wink to the smile? Well, give it a go. You could give it a go. You could do like a couple of weeks no wink and a couple of weeks wink with the smile. And you could literally make like a list, a thing, get yourself a spreadsheet and figure out, you know, the smile to wink ratio. Yeah, maybe. I smile in private at professional content creators like yourself. All my smiles are people like you. Winters, thank you. Prison's not good. No, probably not a good idea to go smiling in prison. In fact, if you are the one smiling in prison and you're in prison and there's a guy in the corner smiling, that's the one you stay away from. Doctors during a rectal exam. Kind gynecologist. Monkey is in the chat, dropping bombs. Oh dear. No, they wouldn't do that, would they? They'd be like, no, and then no smiling. No, during a no, that is not an approach. No, yeah, RTRT will spreadsheet it. How Lionel Johnson wonders how the Watchers in the Dark would react if he smiles at them more. Well, they're shades from the immaterium, filtered through the very jungle of Caliban, its very bones. How they're still hanging on. It must be something deep in the rock. You smiled once at a queue in a post office and was asked to leave. Is that because in the other hand was a shotgun? Smiling at a murder scene, AAA, that is obviously not a good thing to do. Smiling after it, yeah, doctors smiling is not a good idea either. Yeah, so you can, that's anyway, one of Winter's top tips there about having more smiles in your life on this super secret Sunday stream. How are we doing? Who is actually painting anything right now? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? And for those of you listening, I do have a poem lined up in the shotgun. I've mentioned this before. I'm just waiting for like $1 million donation. And I will share this poem with you that I wrote. It's got Batman in it. It's a work of genius. Cabara Rap is painting Grey Knights. Hugo's painting. Yes, you're painting. Oh, yes, of course. The Lithium, Slaves to the Night, is painting Inceptors. Currently finishing some Skyweavers. Nanka P, why are you doing Sky? Are these the Harlequin ones? I think you're allowed. Iron Hands Terminators, yes, Iron Hands Terminators are going to be a bit of a, they're going to certainly be a thing once now. There once was a girl from Nantucket who had a earlobe the size of a bucket. She said to Todd, the dirty old sod, if you give me 50p, you can suck it. Huzzah! Painting some Blood Angels. Dinner ready for Stephen Burden. Goodbye. See you later, Stephen. Thanks for being in the cat. Nankapi confirms that Skyweavers are clowns. Good, because we don't want any dirty Craftworld Eldar players in here. You've primed a model, but plan on playing with it later today. That's allowed. It's got P on it. It's got paint on it. Who else? Happiness isn't allowed in the post office. I'm building 30k Night Lords. No paint yet. Must build. Yes, of course. How would you feel about Grey Knots getting a Primaris-like refresh? Niall Walsh. Grey Knights getting a Primaris-like refresh. Excuse me. It's coming. It's natural. I'm looking forward to it. Games Workshop are in the business of selling models. The process that turns a teenage boy or a young boy into a space marine takes 19 bits of recipe. They have the bowl and they add the 19 bits. Tongue of newt, eye of bat, Laraman cells, second heart. They add it all into the pot and bing! Fully baked, out the other end comes a Space Marine. The new process for making Space Marines involves 3 more ingredients into that pot, and bing, out comes a Primaris Marine. So it's just a matter of time for them to get Primaris Marines, who are from the same stock as the Psykers. All Grey Knights becoming a Grey Knight. To even be a Grey Knight aspirant, you have to be a Psyker, and then to become a Grey Knight, I mean, they kill 1 million more kids than normal chapters, with perhaps the exception of the Iron Hands, because they don't think too much of the flesh. Well, Grey Knights almost certainly kill a lot more, but they kill a lot of people in order to make one Grey Knight, and the process will get to them, and they'll make Primaris. The change will be the patterns, because of course Titan is a Forge world. No, not Titan. Phobos is a Forge. Phobos or Deimos, one of them is a Forge world. I think it's Deimos. No, it's Phobos. Is the Forge world for Titan that makes all their shizzle. And it's all very specific. And a lot of the patterns, such as Nemesis Force weapons and stuff like that, were laid down by the Malkador a long, long time ago. So Primarisifying their kit is the thing. But I would love to see Primarisified Grey Knights eventually. I imagine Grey Knight Gravis type Terminators with Nemesis Force swords and heavy bolt calibers strapped on their thing. Imagine, like your Gravis aggressors. Imagine if Gravis aggressors with grenade harness on had side cannon grenade harness on top, and instead of these bulky fists, they had a jump pack and a sword, and on 2 swords, a jump pack or a sword and shield. So they've got grenade harness, a jump pack like a Hellblaster with a sword and shield, and they are Grey Knights with all the script all over them going wha-bam. I'd buy that for $1. I think Grey Knights have needed more stuff for a while. They've got Nemesis Dread Knights. I've been waiting for years for Games Workshop to release Nemesis Dread Knight Mark II pattern. So we've got the Nemesis Dread Knights. Everyone calls them baby characters, but I quite like them. I've seen Avatar. The way it moves, it's not like Ripley in Aliens. It's like proper Avatar stuff. It's mindling. I like that. Why isn't there a Mark II version of that with longer legs, a faster thing, like a jump version of the Dread Knight? Why isn't there a version of the Dread Knight with a missile rack on top of it like that? If they have weapons of war like that, so they can go toe to toe against greater demons, there should be. So I think the Grey Knight range hasn't had an upgrade, hasn't had a refresh in a while, hasn't had more shizzle thrown in it for a while, and I do hope that when they Primarisify them, that the codex doubles in size and the models are cool, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So that's the answer to the question, what do I think of Grey Knight? That's the thing. Sanguinary Guards back. What have you missed? Very little, my friend. Arcs of Omen scenery. Core needs to get to work on grav bikes. I know. Do they select chosen? Do they create regular Marines? Not really, no. Just Primaris now. In all the chapters. So as the Indomitus Crusade continues, then all the chapters who are a part of the Indomitus Crusade have got all the tech now for adding 3 more ingredients to make a Primaris Marine instead of normal Marine. There will be some chapters who haven't yet shared in the secrets, and they'll probably be in Imperium Nihilus. But yeah, I mean, the Emperor invented the iPhone. It was the Emperor with a Starty. Once you've got an iPhone, you can easily make like Galaxies and Hawaii's and all those other things. It doesn't downplay the Emperor's genius. It's just 3 more ingredients. Is the 13th going to be full Primaris? No. Grey Knight's refresh will be hella sexy, I'm sure of it. Yeah, me too. A Centaur version of a... I don't want a Centaur version of a Dread Knight. The reason why those Dread Knight walkers exist is because it's all very well and good 50 Terminators taking down Angron and then Drago going on and writing his name on Angron's bleeding heart before Angron gets ripped back into the warp. It's all very well saying that, and then there's only one Grey Knight left standing after that epic fight, and their Grandmaster died. All of them died. Only one left alive, and Drago. That's why they have these massive Dread Knight suits. It would be very easy for Games Workshop to make a new multi-part kit. So you've got the old Dread Knights, and then you've got new Dread Knights, and you could call them Dread Knight Jump. You could call them Dread Knight Jumpy Dread Knights. And they're longer and they're faster. They're ways of fighting big demons like Angrons without getting through like 50 or 100 Grey Knight Terminators all in one hit. Why is it so much more deadly to make Iron Hands? Because you can stay in Devastator Doctrine all the time now. Oh, why is it so much more deadly to make Iron Hands in the lore? Oh, right. The trials in which aspirants have to go to in order to be selected for even Grey Knight acquisition. Like if you were... There's a in the 500 Worlds in Macragge, there is a well-trod out process for aspirants in order to become Ultramarines. And it doesn't involve a lot of physical pain. It just, you've got to be the best around. Nothing in the world can take you down. You're the best around. And if you don't make it, you'll probably end up in the Guard or the PDF or something like that, or even the McCrack Spire Guard, which are they're the, Scion elite levels. If you want to get in the Iron Hands, you're going to have to endure more pain than 1 in 100,000 humans can endure. 1 in 100,000 perfect physical specimens can endure. And if you endure that pain, and I'm not going to go into all the trials, but if you can endure that, because iron endures, then you may be accepted into the Iron Hands, Space Marine intern system, and get your first foot on the ladder, first rung on the ladder. They're not too bothered about pain. Well, they are bothered about pain in the sense that it doesn't bother them. That's iron endures. They are meant to survive where all others could not. I did a couple of STC episodes recently and it was part 1, part 2, the first 10 legions, the second 10 legions, and there's a couple of legions that were definitely made just to endure no matter what. Vulcan salamanders were made to enjoy high radiation, high temperature, those kind of environments which were inimical to life due to heat or radiology. The Death Guard were, in their gene seed, was definitely a resilience to endure things that are inimical to life due to chemical, nuclear, and biological circumstances. And the Iron Hands, was part of their shtick was that they are a legion that was bred to endure. And Ferrus Manus, one of his great tragedies is he saw how bad it was taking them. He saw the flesh is weak shizzle. He saw them willingly amputate limbs to replace them for bionics, and knew that his own Iron Hands were false. That his own Iron Hands, he believed, were gifted to him when he wrestled the serpent in the Silver Lake and killed it, and iron on his hands. Origin story. He knew they weren't a part of him, and he vowed during the heresy or before the heresy to get rid of his Iron Hands once the heresy was done. He teach his brothers, teach his sons that the flesh is weak is not a curse, but a clarion cry, a trumpet call for greatness. It's not a curse. It's not a thing in itself. The flesh is weak, the end. Therefore, if I get shot in the leg, I'll put that on it. If I get thin, I'll do that. It's not the flesh is weak, the end. It is the flesh is weak. Therefore, we must overcome. We must endure. And yeah, that was the old thing. I get lost. There's little bit different bits of lore that I'm trying to pull together here, so I'm not saying it as well as I can. I deeply apologise, but there you go. There's some lore about the Iron Hands. And the reason why I was getting sidetracked because I wanted to say something else, but it's gone again. Damn it. There is the actual quote, the flesh is weak XYZ. Someone might be able to remember what the flesh is weak XYZ is. That the other, but yeah, there's an actual second part of that thing. But he was never able to fulfill this ambition of his, of course, because of treachery. Okay, Medusa are constantly fighting over the scarce resources, and Ferrus Manus promoted to create the strongest warriors. I played a couple of games with different armies at 500 points. It was lots of fun. My go-to 2,000 point of orcs takes ages. I'm liking the smaller games. Yes, Dark Future. I really hope that the boarding actions model is in the new 10th edition rulebook when it comes out in June. Because I think pickup games at 500 points is a really good thing for the game, and they should promote that, and they should come up with new, an expansion on maybe the board layout, or expansion on the missions, or it's just quick, easy pickup games where there's no stratagems, no relics, and no warlord traits. Well, there are the strats, the basic ones, but it's just such a good, and it's a good entry. It's a good entry point for people as well. The flesh is weak, but deeds endure. With steel, we are stronger, but without a soul, we are nothing. Yes, exactly. Watching you playing Grey Knights, secretly Eldari in Space Marine armor. Peter Richardson, get out. Is Sarah in the chat? Hi, Disco Dolly. I was trying to catch up at double speed, but you sounded like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Stressful. Oh dear, you know what? I'm going to have to go back and check one of my streams at double speed now after this, just to see if I really sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Alvin and the Chipmunks talking at about 40k on heroin. Brilliant. Dutch, sorry Winters, but I can't stand Primaris. Well, that sounds like a you problem. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and you can't stand Primaris, and that's a problem. Do you know what my problem is? I can't stand Craftworld Eldar. I can't. The snotty nose, stuck up little bastards. It's all their fault, you know. The Eye of Terror, which turned into the Great Rift and Imperial Nihilus, Imperium Sanctus. It's all their fault, which is technically the old one's fault. I can't stand them, and that's a me problem. We all have to work through our problems. Been seeing a lot of Wraithguard in Hobby Apocalypse makes me want to start a Fallen Craft world. Well, Peter Daly, so long as they're all dead, I think I can just about put up with it. Because the only good elf is a dead elf. Exactly. Primaris armor with Firstborn helmets is the way to go in your opinion. Primaris armor with Firstborn helmets. Yeah, I mean, it's your 40k. You should convert and play around and mess around with as much of... Yeah, conversions are beautiful, right? I love watching some people do those Primaris Terminator conversions, and there's some really great work out there. And indeed, a lot of my 13th Firstborn were highly converted models from loads of different kits. And in the Horus Heresy stuff that I'm doing, I'm enjoying using the OG kits where you can easily convert and kit bash and mix and match a lot better than you can with the... a lot easier than you can with the monopost kits. But then I remember using lead back before plastic wasn't even a thing. And if you needed to convert back there, you had to have a hacksaw and bleed everywhere. So, I mean, I remember doing kit bashes and conversions with lead. And I've done kit bashes and conversions with plastic as well. It's not as hard as it was with lead, not as easy as it is with Firstborn. Somewhere in the middle. Invincigaz, hello. Everyone appears to be okay. How is everyone this evening? Invincigaz has asked, how is everyone this evening? I'm doing fine, Invincigaz. How are you? And everyone, tell Invincigaz how you're doing this evening, please. He's asking, don't be rude. It would be cool to see rules for Eldar and Orcs in 30k. It would be, I think, I hope that they expand Horus Heresy into a... a better way to do it from the top down would be Warhammer 40k and then Warhammer 40k narrative or Warhammer narrative. So you've got Warhammer 40k, and in Warhammer 40k you've got Apocalypse, you've got match play, tournament play, you've got match play casual, you've got boarding actions, you've got kill team, and that's all in Warhammer 40k. And you get the codexes for Warhammer 40k, and you play the different mission packs. And then they could have Warhammer Narrative. And in Warhammer Narrative, there'll be rules for playing 40k narrative games, like don't take more than this, don't do rerolls here, or the rules for that, and mission packs for Warhammer 40k Narrative. And they could have Warhammer Narrative codexes for Horus Heresy, narrative codexes for Orcs pre-Great Rift, for Eldar pre-Great Rift, for all of those things, and you could do the War of the Beast, and you could do that all in the Horus Heresy. That's how I would do it anyway. So Hazard's fine. Joshua's doing great, and he hope everyone is too. Nice. Lionel Johnson is lost, but doing very well, and he will be soon returning to us, the Primarch of the First Legion. Mick the Machinist doing good. Well, hey, Mick, welcome. Welcome back. Rusty Gears, beautiful me, is in Santa Clara, and he's making breakfast. Hello? Is that the cat or cat? It's cat, not the cat. Okay. Sarah Disco Doll is fine. You've got a reactor leak. It's fine down here. Got a reactor leak. Give it a minute. Give us a minute to lock it down. Dutch is plodding along. Big agree. Love narrative style play. Nick B. Winters. Let's go stream, or let's go Winters stream. Simply Warhammer is doing great. Just back from a week at Warhammer World. He's been to Mecca, everyone. The holy place. Hopefully you didn't spend too much money in the Forge World store, because Forge World at Warhammer World, that's a dangerous place to be. The only good elf is a dead elf is something we say in Blood Bowl 2. I've got some friends who've just started a Blood Bowl league. I am learning that there is quite a large... the Blood Bowl scene is thriving at the moment, and Games Workshop or Forge World keep dropping new models for it, and the new edition is, well, I mean, it just grows with all the different... Forge World's doing... Blood Bowl's doing really well as a game. I'm pleased they're supporting it well, and I can see the community. I can see you Blood Bowl players out there. You are growing. You are multiplying. You are spreading your seed across the planet. Invincigaz is sweet. Winters, I can't wait to see a Loyalist Emperor's Children when you start playing 30k. I've played lots of 30k. I just can't film it yet. I need to put them on bases and things, and I haven't got the bases yet. Blood Bowl Skaven tempt me. I remember Warhammer World. I went to Warhammer World, spent £265 exactly. It's dangerous. Dutch, what about the alternative races that are in 30k lore but not on the tabletop? Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, since Heresy became a game system, people have talked about murder or the Interrex or stuff like that. Unfortunately, Games Workshop bugger up. They have buggered up the launches of brand new factions, such as the Leagues of Votan. And they've not buggered up the launches of some other new factions. But Genestealer Cult hardly ever blew anyone out. I don't think they're going to get that deep down, particularly as they have a production problem, their supply problem. They if they could supply it, they need to supply more of the peaks and make the peaks higher. At the moment it does this. It should be doing that. And if the peaks are 5 times higher, then there can be a trough for 4 weeks. As a peak is 5 times, because they would sell a lot more, but they can't produce as much as they need or want, and they're scared of the amount of back catalogue they might end up sitting on because they do another Leagues of Broken. So yeah, they'd love if it all went digital, wouldn't they? It'd be just easier for them if it all went digital. Like D&D all want to go digital, but they don't understand that we are feely people, we are touchy people, we like things in our hands. And even if the rules were available 100% digitally, and even if they didn't suck, and even if they weren't broken half the time, that only some people would use them, not everyone. Some people would use them all the time, but some people would only use them supplementary. And the people who like to touch and like to feel and like to squeeze and never go away. And many of them are the people who like to use them supplementary as well. Elder helped my brother, so that's a positive thing. It is a positive thing. So long as it... Meganachnids are probably the coolest race we'll never get to model of. And the Lair. The Lair, I mean, they're described as... I mean, in the Lair Temple orgy scene in Fulgrim, they're straight up demonish. There's other ones during the Horus Heresy, particularly in the Primarch novels, that are a bit cooler. The second-hand market is huge now. That must annoy them. Yes, it is. And it's partly Games Workshop's fault the second-hand market is so huge. I talked about that earlier in the stream, how I think that it is partly their fault that the second-hand market is so large. Vanguard, Wargaming, because that... Rusty Gears is going to the LVO Narative event this weekend. Excellent. Have a great time. What do you think about running personal objectives just for my orcs, like loot a vehicle or getting scrap piles on the board? What do I think of that? Well, I think that sounds fantastic. I have no idea how the LVO do their narrative things, but it sounds fantastic. Play 40k, your word. Boarding action supplements instead of expressive codexes. More armies equals more plastic sales. Yes, there are a million. Yes. Blood Bowl World Cup in Alicante this year, producing 1,500 to 2,000 players. Going to be amazing. There we go. Blood Bowl scene is thriving, people. It's a very good game, and I've got a couple of friends who have recently jumped into it. It's very well supported, and it's very condensed. Orbital to drop bods in. What have I missed, Castellan? What have you missed? What you've missed everything. You've missed penguins. You missed a poem. I'm still sitting on the poem. You missed. There was naked dancing Kroot earlier on in the background, and there were blow darting little frogs that were jumping. These frogs, these African poison toads, with their spitting, they spit this poison, and they grow in these trees and high up in a rainforest in Central Africa, and they spit on the beetles, and that's how they kill the beetles, and then they eat the beetles. And there was a bunch of them up here, like spitting on me, and it's very acidic. It's like getting spat on by a Starties. It's like, from their Belcher's gland. So spitting Belcher's gland, acidic toads from high up rainforests somewhere in the Congo, those deadly things. You can Google it. It's fine. Them, and then we had naked dancing Kroot, blowpipe. You missed that. And it's been deleted from the VOD as well. So I'm sorry. It's just those that know. Dane S. Thank you for joining the 13th at tier 1. I salute you, sir. I salute you. If anyone who wants custom emojis and badges and things, then you can become a tier 1 channel member and help me with my plastic crack addiction. Or you can join at tier 2 and that unlocks my personal Discord. Or tier 3 and that unlocks all the videos. All the videos that are put up on Deployment Zone and members. It's all exactly the same across both platforms. The only difference is if you support me through channel memberships, you support me. And if you join the Deployment Zone community, then you're supporting me and Liam equally. So thank you to everyone who chooses to support, love, honor and obey the Imperium of Mankind. Where are we? What do you think of Flyer starting off the board? Yeah, it's great. Should always. Yes. It was always a thing until 8th, and then it wasn't a thing in 8th and 9th, and now it's a thing again. I like it. It's an easy thing to remember. Flyers always off the board. They're fighting their way down on to the thing. I like it. It's good. Anything that adds a bit of... one of the reasons why I prefer the Horus Heresy game system to the 40k game system. I'm enjoying both of them immensely right now. I love 40k, but I'm preferring Horus Heresy as a war game system because Horus Heresy feels more like a war game. Terrain matters in Heresy, which direction your guns are facing and which armor value is facing, and what you can actually see. Whereas in 40k, it's not about what you can see. There's rules governing that. Sometimes you can't see what you can see, and terrain just is -2, whatever it is. And flyers can't come on until turn 2. Reserves can't come on until turn 2 and 3, and it's random and automatically turn 4, and stuff blows up automatically. It feels more like, and sweeping about, it feels more like a war game. And 40k, which I love, feels more like a simulation of Horus Heresy, and 40k feels more like a game, a strategic game. A game where you play strategies against you. Haha, well, my CP does this. Haha, well, my CP does It's a strategy game, Warhammer 40k, and made it all the more complicated by secondaries in the match play tournament play system. So they turned 40k, used to be more of a war game, which was very complicated to learn, to a strategy game, which at the start of 8th edition was really easy to learn. And then by the end of 9th edition, it's really complicated to learn because it turned out all the tournament players wanted a lot more layers of strategy in their game. So they gave them lots more layers of strategy in their game. And now it's really complicated to learn again. And so they want to make it easier and more accessible to learn. And 40k will be a strategy game that will be less complex. Whether or not it... And any mechanic that is easy to remember, such as flyers coming on in turn 2, that gives it more of a war game feel in 40k, I'm up for. So let's make it a strategy game that's easy to play. Let's put the levels of complexity in that strategy game in the tournament play system, and that can roll around every 6 months. And you can balance it differently every 6 months in the tournament play system, but leave everyone else untouched. Everyone else untouched. And put as many war game mechanics that you can into that strategy system without overburdening it. And then Horus Heresy is outflanking, regrouping, deep striking. Everything has so much more meaning, such more impact. You can change the fate of a game if you manage to pull off something insane and manage to roll those 6s. You can change the fate of a game. But it's also not over till the end in Heresy because you often roll at the end of the game. The poem was beautiful. It touched my soul and brought me tears of joy. Thank you. I don't mind the flyers starting off grid, but I don't like that HG is dumbing down the options of said craft. Should flyers, tanks and large models be in a separate detachment or category or only very limited? Don't care. I cannot wait for Jet Bike's release date so I can finally white scars in normal format. Yes. White scars in epic format. Nice. White scars, jet bikes. You know the right of war for white scars. You can take them as troops, obsec troops, line scoring troops. And you can put artificer armor on the sergeant. And then you can't bring heavies in that detachment, but what you certainly can do is bring Contempt of Dreadnoughts and flyers. You can bring a Storm Eagle gunship. You can bring vehicles if they're flying. You can bring a Fire Eagle. You can bring a Fire Eagle gunship. You can be a Storm Eagle transport. You can bring those Outrider, the skimmers with all the las cannons on them. And then there's a close combat version of the White Scar jet bike things, and they need to release that too. Magos is of the opinion that tournament players and their consequence have been a disaster for the Warhammer community. Tournament players and their consequences. Tournament players have always had a consequence on the Warhammer community. Games Workshop decided at an executive level or a higher management level that competitive tournament play was going to propel us forward into the future of Warhammer 40k, and that's not tournament players' fault. Games Workshop got that wrong. What they did get right is, up until this recent change, which has got tournament players all up in it because it's the end of an edition, and at the end of an edition they just open up the sandbox for everyone and say, here's the sand in the sandbox, here are all the toys, everyone go at it. And they did it with Psychic Awakening at the end of 8th, they did it with all the formations at the end of the 7th, and they're doing it now. They're going, here you go. And until this point, because it's the end of the edition, that's why they've done it, to encourage people to buy stuff. Because normally at the end of edition, people buy less stuff. So before that, they did turn 9th edition into one of the 9th edition 40k is the best competitive edition it has been, and I played competitive 9th edition, and lots of people have really enjoyed competitive 9th edition. So tournament players and the consequences that Games Workshop follow because of them have not been a disaster for the Warhammer competitive community. In fact, it has really helped the Warhammer competitive community. What Games Workshop failed to do is consider the rest of us and consider the fact that everyone who is a Warhammer collector, a painter or a player, or that we're all collectors first, and it is their job to sell miniatures, to be the best miniature wargaming company in the world, and sell games that make us want to play with our miniatures in Blood Bowl or Necromunda or Sigma or whatever. Sell games that make us want to play with our miniatures, because the more we play with our miniatures, the more we're engaged with their hobby. The more we're engaged with their hobby, the more they spend more. And they forgot about Dre. Ding, 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 ding. They forgot about Dre. They forgot about casual play. They forgot about casual play. And so Warhammer competitive community tournament players aren't bad for the community. It's bad for Games Workshop sales if they only focus on that, or prefer to focus on that. It's bad for their sales. And it's bad for the amount of people in the community playing the game, because the game is less accessible. They forgot about Dre. It's bad. Yeah. It's also, in the long run, bad for the competitive community as well, because people play Call of Duty and then might end up being in the CDL. People play Scrabble, and then you can go on YouTube and watch Scrabble World Championships or Chess World Championships. Or think of a game, there is a competitive thing. You could go to the park and kick the ball around, but there's someone out there who's a bit messy. Someone very messy, anyway, who was in a cup. There was a cup recently where people kicked the ball around and there was a messy guy. So in every game you can do it. But what you need in the competitive scene is you need the most amount of people in the world ever playing it casually as you can, because the bigger that pool, the higher percentage of people from that pool that will eventually play it competitively. So having a competitive edition of 40k only means over the long term it squeezes down the number of people who play it competitively in the longer term, because there's less of a casual pool, by orders of magnitude less. There could be millions and millions and millions of them more if the game was much more accessible. And the difference in complexity only really needs to come down to mission packs. So yeah, that's what Games Workshop did to the game. But the competitive side of the game is the best competitive version of 40k that we've had. But little Timmy doesn't buy his little Tau army and go to the store to play competitively. He goes to the store to see his little Tau army try and get into close combat with those orcs over there, because punching stuff looks fun, and then realizes he's bought the wrong army and then buys orcs. And then he runs the orcs out, and he enjoys punching stuff until he runs into Khorne Berserkers coming the other way, and then he buys them. That's what little Timmy wants to do. And one day Timmy is a bit messy and wins a cup. Anyway, Mick the Machine, thank you for your donation. I love you, sir. Jumping in with a donation. Can we give Mick the Machine a pat on his bald head? A nice pat on his bald head and a thanks. If the 10th edition rule set turns out to be overcomplicated crap, would you consider teaming up with the likes of HSP to create your own narrative rule set that could then be used by the wider community? So 10th edition will not be overcomplicated crap. 10th edition will be an accessible rule system, and you only need to see the newer codexes, with the exception the leagues are broken, to show that they're trying to make the codexes as accessible as they possibly can. Hell, there isn't even a build your own Chaos Legion section inside Chaos Space Marine book. They're trying to make the game more accessible. As for teaming up with Say Hi Paul, I'm always happy and excited every time I team up with Say Hi Paul. When Say Hi Paul chose his own narrative rule set when 9th edition come around, I did have long conversations with Say Hi Paul, and he was like, look, I'm not doing that. It doesn't make sense. If I'm a devastator, if I'm walking, firing a heavy weapon through a tree at a flyer that I'm only -1 to hit, what is this crap? And I could only nod and say, yes, Paul, you are 100% right. Because he is 100% right. But I didn't go that way because I am trying to make, I've got to practice, I'm trying to make the game as accessible. I'm trying to have fun playing the rules as they are presented to me. And I've played all the versions of the rules, and I play the rules as they're presented to me. And I'm trying to make it as accessible to everyone who watches my videos as possible to join in on the fun. Because, so it won't be overcomplicated crap. However, so I didn't make my own narrative rule sets, but I have played many missions, and there's the Apocalypse rule set, which is available to anyone who wants it, where I came up with house rules for an Apocalypse. So I have made, so what I'm saying is no and yes. I'm saying 10th edition won't be overcomplicated crap, it'll be accessible. And, but I will still make narrative decisions in, like the 4,000 point game of Tau versus Necrons. We put 3 objectives down in the middle of the table and had D3 points each for killing each other's warlord, and that was it. I mean, those are essentially house rules in any versions of. So I'll continue to do what I do. But as for making it a wider, no. If people don't want to play with the Warhammer 40k rules with their models, then you should check out one-page rules. And they are that's a very accessible rule system. So go and find one-page rules and use that to play with your miniatures. Timmy needs to buy Deathwing Terminators. They're punchy and don't die as easily as those fishy people. No, they don't. Close Combat Tau got some work to do. They find it dishonourable. Actually, like a bit messy. Getting up there all in close. And why do I need to get up all there? It's all, it's a bit messy. A bit fussy. They'd rather just shoot people from a long, long way away. Would you like to see Epic and Battlefleet Gothic make a return in a narrative sense? I'd like to see Epic return, and I'd like to see Battlefleet Gothic return. Yes, and I think it is only a matter of time until they return. I hope they don't screw it up, and I hope the game is accessible. So there is a quick way to play the game, and then there is an advanced rule system. They did that in Titanicus, but the quick way, I mean, it's still fun to play. Titanicus is still very much fun to play, but it was a bit too much for my brain. A little bit too much for my brain. Otherwise, I'd have kept playing it and kept playing it and kept playing it. Also, to be fair, I didn't have there's no one around here who would regularly play me. If there was like Sultan or someone here who played Titanicus all the time, then we'd have played Titanicus all the time, I imagine. But like, I haven't even got involved with my mate's Blood Bowl League because I find it hard enough keeping 2 rule systems in my head, which is Heresy and 40k. And yeah, that's hard enough. I'm doing all the other stuff. Epic seems inevitable. It does. I hope they don't screw up. RTRT just moves his Chaos Space Marines around and makes shooting sounds. Bang, bang, zap, zap, kaboom. We've all been there. Dane S, thank you for upgrading your membership to the 13th tier 3. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Up to 20 members. This is like the most members I've ever had in a stream for a long time. And also, if you want to, 3 people in the world own this mug. Someone on the live stream this evening said that they would also get a mug. So become the 5th person in the world, one of the top 10. to owner. Winter's SEO mug. I wish that in-store games had returned post-COVID, as it's a good way to encourage grassroots players. What is grass, Paul W. Swift? I've heard of this thing called grass, and my feet never touch it. So, thank you all for joining me on this Super Sunday awesome stream. Super Sunday Secrets Warhammer 40k stream. I still have this poem locked inside me. Anyone who is watching this after the event, where I witnessed the death of Santa, I still have this poem locked inside me, and the trauma could be enticed from me for a supermassive donation. It could, and I feel like it would help me some way in the recovery if it could be enticed from me. And it also helps keep the lights on, and also helps pay for my supermassive plastic crack addiction as well. But that has not been enticed from me this evening. So I think we'll jump to the chat one last time. We'll wrap this up, put a bow on it, and then drown it in the river. Is there any grass in Swindon winters? I don't know. I don't get out much. 'Twas a sweet, sweet stream. With Epic, it's so easy to 3D print the models for that game. Both my fists and White Scars 3D print the symbol. They're probably better releasing just a core pack if you want. Yeah, if they released Epic stuff for Epic, I would buy it from them. Though I would want the official Games Workshop stuff, but to each his own. Epic was the first contact with Warhammer. It was so awesome back in the day. It was, Sir Dragon. It's one of my... I got a girlfriend back into Epic, first edition Epic. I remember getting a triple Reaver Titan Maniple, because you had Maniples then. They were awesome, man, in the old metal. Been fun hanging out and listening. Thank you. Glad you found this channel. Thank you. I've seen a lot of Battlefield printed stuff on sale on Fleabay. Okay, so sure. So yes, thank you everyone for jumping in on this Super Sunday Secret stream. I've enjoyed myself actually. And we'll go back to building my Contemptors for the King of the North. And I will see everyone who's going to King of the North there. There is a video that came out today for channel members. So if you're a tier 3 channel member, I hope you enjoy it. If you're not a tier 3 channel member, then I encourage you to become a tier 3 channel member. It is the best way to support me. And if you're already a channel member or a Deployment Zone supporter, then thank you. And thank you for all your love and support. Have a good Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing the game later. The Eagles did look good, didn't they? The Eagles do look good. Sanguinary Regard, thanks for coming, thanks for going, and modding as ever. Mick the Machine, thank you. Castellan, thank you. Dutch, thank you. I think you just press this button here. How do you close it down? How do we end? How do things end? I have a trouble with endings. Do you guys have a trouble with your ending, or is it me with my ending? Do I just have a trouble with my ending? I think I definitely have a trouble with my ending. Has anyone else got a trouble with their ending? Any words of encouragement? Stay classy. Hi Dutch. Was a great secret live stream. Good night, guys. See, we end with a poem. You don't end with a poem. I did the poem earlier. There was a poem earlier, but it's not the poem. The poem is a traumatic experience and needs to be enticed with me, with enough money to pay for therapy after I get it out. Yo mama, this is the way the world ends. Yes, that's the way to end it. Maybe just shut down the computer, the only way to be sure. I missed it. You did, Castellan, but you can go back. There was things. A round of applause from Stephen Jakes. Thank you. Alt F4, use a hammer. These are... There aren't very many all of these ways will end the stream. Alt F4 and hammer. And this is the way the stream ends. And yes, so I think I'm going to go. Thank you. Nice seeing you chat. It's nice to chat. I should actually talk to you guys more rather than just rant. At the beginning, we did have a nice chat. At the end, I've just mainly been ranting more. I don't want to go. Is there anyone who wants to say hi? Shall I go? Shall I just go? It's like I came on to chat. Still 123 in here. Poem first, bro. What? How Santa died? Maybe next time? Do I want to cuddle? Who couldn't do with a cuddle? A nice cuddle? A cuddle isn't... How many cuddles have you actually had as a grown-up? Just, you can't get enough cuddles. Half of a poem? No. Half of a poem is half of nothing at all. Much love from California. Winter poem. There seems to be a groundswell for a poem. One, two, three, yes. I read 1,000 Suns have not dusted new recruits. Ha, ha, ha. RT, cuddles make you feel uncomfortable. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Orkska has lots of epic stuff lying around. Ask GW for stream ending rules, but it will be OP until they nerf it. Iron within, iron without. Winters now sounds like Monkey from Conta. The Femme stand-up comedian, lol. Love from the barren deserts of Arizona. Or is Winters a motivational speech to get everyone through the week? I did, 1, 2, 3 poem. I did do a motivational speech earlier on in the stream, people. I did do a motivational speech earlier on. About smiling. About making sure that your life is filled with more smiles. You hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. You know that awkward silence at the end? You know, where you're like, at the end of a party or a dinner, and you're like, you know you're going. They know you're going. But you don't know whether you going now is too early. Whether, you know. I'm okay, yeah. I don't like AMSR. But Winter's AMSR. I don't like ASMR. But I do like ASMR. And I do like carrots. Anyone's opinion, should I play Chaos Gate or Dawn of War 3 for a PC? Chaos Gate, not Dawn of War 3. If you played, if you're going to play Dawn of War, play Dawn of War 2. If you haven't played Dawn of War 2, play Dawn of War 2. It's much better than Dawn of War 3. Do you think the Emperor will get a model? Yes. I don't think he'll get rules, but I do think he'll get a model. You end it, and this is the way the stream ends. Dawn of War has a nice paint tool. Dawn of War 3, not Dawn of War 3, play Dawn of War 2, which is better than 3. Awkward silence interrupted by faint bolter shot noises in the background. I've been playing Hero Quest. Wow. I remember Hero Quest back in the day. Anyone else remember? I really should go. Thank you for keeping me company. We need a poem to describe how bad Dawn of War 3 is. Well, it's not bad. It's just that there's... Is it bad? In my opinion, I don't have enough of a strong opinion to say it is neither bad nor good. I do know that Dawn of War 1 and 2 are just better games. Lionel Johnson, don't end the stream. Just keep going. Okay? You got Hero Quest and Advanced Hero Quest. Nice. Hero Quest is the best game ever made. It's up there. Talisman, in my humble opinion, Hero Quest is up there. But Talisman, if you haven't played Talisman, you must play Talisman. And you can still get Talisman from Fantasy Flight. Fantasy Flight Games. 99 Anyway Winters. 99. That was kind of poetic. Original. Dinner's finished and you're still here. Stephen Burden, you've been to dinner and back again. I know. I tried to leave, Stephen, but I don't know how to end it. I mean, what am I going to do? I'll have to go back to 40k, making models, and And she'll want me to wash up or something. I don't want to wash up. Apparently, I've been told I'm hoovering tomorrow. Everything. Everything. Good morning. Good morning, The Walking Death. Maybe this is not the end. Invinci Gaz, what's your favourite model you own? My Reaver Titan. What's the oldest one you own? This first edition converted Rogue Trader plastic model is the oldest one I own. Fate of Blacklight Sopranos. Hero Quest was great. Take a look at Hero Hour if that's your jam. It's not my jam. Not anymore. Done Hero Quest. I don't know who they make models while you're stream. I could, but I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go. Am I going? Make models while you're stream, then we can hobby along with you. I'm easily distracted. I've been on the Scary podcast a few times and a couple of other podcasts when they're like, make sure that you're modeling and doing something else and da-da-da-da. I mean, I think Scary's one, it's called Put Paint on It or something. But I can't. I can only do one thing. Well, I can do more than one thing, but I can only do one thing well, and I can barely do this well. How long have we been on anyway? Why has Forge World not released 40k AdMech rules to the 30k Mechanicum? Who do I need to fight to make it happen? They were going to release. There was a book, and it was revealed at a Horus Heresy event, and I forget the name of the book, and it was going to be a Imperial Armor book, so bringing the 30k Mechanicum into the 40k, and RIP, I forget his name, but and I'm deeply ashamed that my brain has gone blank on his name right now, but there was a hero that rose up in Forge World who was instrumental in bringing the Horus Heresy game system, the Horus Heresy models, alive. And he was also instrumental behind the rise of the Imperial Army, the rise of Forge World itself. He unfortunately passed away. And Forge World hasn't been the same since. And then with the shift to 8, things changed. Alan Bly. Yeah, rip Alan Bly. So he basically single-handedly built Forge World. And then built the 30k models. And built all of what the Horus Heresy rule set became. And the Horus Heresy model launch became. So much so that we've now got Horus Heresy. Alan Bly is the reason why there is Heresy 2.0 and plastic Heresy models. Him. And he was making a Mechanicum book. And we saw the pictures and we saw the name and we saw some other things. But unfortunately he died and that project never came to fruition. And then clearly with the launch of 8th and then they started releasing some Forge World. Clearly their direction moved elsewhere. Fars of Syraxus, Imperial Armor, Volume 14. Yeah. So many creative people there at Games Workshop. So many creative people. So many creative people here in the chat listening to this video after the chat. I want to thank you all for being a channel member. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for listening to this video. If you could like, comment, and subscribe to some videos at any point from other artists, that would be great. And if you could, if you want to support me, then you can become a channel member. I've also got a Patreon, which I never talk about, but it's been emotional. I've enjoyed myself. This has been good. I should do more Super Secret Sunday streams, and I'm going to go now. Happy wargaming.